Hello students, welcome to All Force e-learning channel. This is K. Nageshwar Rao, your physics faculty. Today we are about to deal with the session number 106, second year NEET, and the current chapter is magnetism and matter. In this chapter already we have dealt with fundamentals, we have dealt with bending of magnets, cutting of magnets, how the magnetic moment will change, all these details were explored. Now what I'm going to do is today I will take different magnets and I will arrange them in different orientations and I will try to find out the resultant magnetic moment. When I look at all those magnets with the different orientations, what is the resultant magnetic dipole moment? Okay, so let us quickly recapitulate what has been completed earlier, very quickly, very few points connected with the present discussion. If you have a magnet something like this, if this is south pole and if this is north pole, okay, and magnetic length if it is 2L, pole strength if it is M, magnetic moment is expressed as M into 2L. Okay, it's a vector quantity M bar. Okay, and its direction will be from south to north like this. Okay, so whatever this M bar is there, it is from south to north. Okay, so this is one very important point connected with the bar magnet. So let us make use of this data to understand combination of magnets. Combination of magnets. I will take two magnets like this. This is another magnet. South pole, north pole, south pole, north pole. This is magnetic axis of this magnet, and this is magnetic axis of this magnet. Let the angle between these two axes is theta. Okay. Whatever magnetic moment is there for this magnet, it will be along this direction, and I will take it as M1. And whatever magnetic moment is there for this magnet, it will be from south to north along this direction. I will take its magnetic moment as M2. Okay, and what is the angle between this M1 and M2? Theta. So if you are interested to find out resultant magnetic moment, how it can be done? The resultant magnetic moment M can be written as, using parallelogram law of vector addition, what you can write? M bar is equal to, you can write like this, M1 bar plus M2 bar, and the magnitude is equal to under root M1 square plus M2 square plus 2 M1 M2 cos theta. So this is one general equation. It doesn't matter whatever orientation the magnets were having. By making use of this equation, you can find out resultant magnetic moment. Okay, whether you place magnets along the same direction, in opposite direction, at any angle. Okay, at an angle equal to 60 degree, 30 degree, 120, 140, whatever angle, you know, in whatever orientation you arrange the magnets, using this equation, you will be able to find out the resultant magnetic moment. Okay, so let us make use of this equation to deal with a few possible cases. Here, whatever cases I will be dealing with, all those cases are like one problem, one numerical question. Okay, so I will start with this one. Before I proceed further, what I'm going to do is I will reverse this magnet. Okay, and I will see what is going to happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will change the orientation of this magnet. South pole, north pole. Along this direction, you have M1. Now this magnet is reversed in the sense, let us say north pole is, north pole position has come here, south pole position has come here. If that is the situation, the angle between the magnets is not changed, still it is intact. But the angle between magnetic moments will change. The angle between the magnets in the sense, this is same as the this case. Here theta, there also it is theta only. But if you look at the magnetic moment of this magnet, now its direction is like this. M1, so earlier it was taken as M2. Okay. Now, what is the angle between M1 and M2? Earlier angle between M1 and M2 is equal to angle between the magnets. Now the angle between the magnets is theta, but angle between M1 and M2 is different. How much is that? 180 minus theta. And if you are interested to find out the resultant magnetic moment, in this case, what you can do is simply replace this theta with 180 minus theta. What happens if you replace this theta with 180 minus theta? Let us find out. So, magnitude of resultant magnetic moment is equal to under root m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos of 180 minus theta. Cos of 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So finally, the resultant magnetic moment becomes something like this. m1 square plus m2 square minus 2m1 m2 cos theta. You know, these kind of things we have already seen in vectors concept. Okay, in first year vectors, you guys are familiar with relative velocity. So in case of relative velocity, what you will be doing, you will be taking difference between two velocities, VAB. Velocity of A with respect to B is expressed as VA minus VB. So their magnitude is expressed like this. VA square plus VB square minus 2 VA VB cos theta. Okay, if you are simply adding two velocities or two forces, this is how you will be writing the equation. If you are subtracting one vector from the other vector, you will be writing something like this. Okay, so these two general equations are important. Okay, now this angle can be anything and this angle can be anything. If this is placed, parallel to the bottom magnet, what will be the angle? If this magnet and if this both the magnets are parallel, what is the angle between those two magnets? It will be 0. If you replace theta with 0, you will get corresponding resultant magnetic moment. So that's how we can talk about various possible cases in this situation. Let us see all those possible situations. I want you to remember this. Okay. Magnitude of magnetic moment, resultant magnetic moment is what? Under root m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos theta, where theta is the angle between m1 and m2. Okay, m1 and m2. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'll take different orientations like let us say both the magnets are placed like this, one above the other, south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole. Here corresponding to this magnet, let magnetic moment is m1, corresponding to this one, let the magnetic moment is m2. And what is corresponding theta? Theta is 0 degree. Okay, so resultant magnetic moment is equal to under root m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos 0 is 1. So cos theta can be replaced with 1 in this case. Not only this particular arrangement, this is a bit similar to this kind of arrangement. What if both the magnets are arranged like this? One magnet is kept here, another magnet is kept here, south, north, south, north. Here magnetic dipole moment of this one is along this direction, m1, magnetic dipole moment of this one is like this. Both are along the same direction. Here also theta equal to how much? Theta equal to 0 degree. And resultant magnetic dipole moment will be something like this. Okay, even this can be reduced further like m1 plus m2, because it's like a square plus b square plus 2ab, which is nothing but a plus b whole square. A plus b whole square, square and root gets cancelled, finally we are left with a plus b. So here in place of a we have m1, in place of b we have m2. Okay, m1 plus m2 whole square, square root gets cancelled, and finally we are left with m1 plus m2. Okay, so this is what resultant magnetic moment if both the magnets are arranged along the same direction. Whenever you see any question in the examination containing two magnets along the same direction, two magnets parallel to each other, no need to make use of this equation. Okay, directly you can write resultant magnetic moment as m1 plus m2. Okay, resultant magnetic moment as m1 plus m2, provided m1 and m2 should be along the same direction. Don't think that if orientation of the magnets is like this, m1 and m2 will be along the same direction. What if both are parallel, magnets are, they are horizontal, but one magnet is reversed. In that case, magnetic dipole moments will be in opposite direction, isn't it? In that case, theta will be equal to 180 degree. Let us see that. Let us say one magnet is arranged like this, another magnet is arranged like this. Magnetic moment of this magnet will be along this direction. I will take it as m1. Magnetic moment of this one is from south to north. It's m2. What is the angle between m1 and m2? It's equal to 180 degree. In both the cases, physically one magnet is lying on the other magnet, but the situation, final output will be different. Here the angle between magnetic moments is 0. Here angle between magnetic moments is not 0, it's 180 degree, isn't it? But what is the common point in both the cases? The arrangement is same. Arrangement is same in the sense physically one magnet is lying above the other magnet. Okay, so that's, this case you can handle like this. If the angle is 180 degree, what will be the resultant magnitude? M is equal to under root m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos 180. Cos 180 is minus 1. So what you will have? m1 square plus m2 minus 2m1 m2. This is nothing but m1 minus m2. Actually you will have whole square under root. Square and root gets cancelled. Here the same thing can be done here also. Square and the root gets cancelled. You will have m1 minus m2. Here we don't know whether m1 is greater than m2 or m2 is greater than m1. If that is mentioned, you can write more clearly. Here I have assumed that m1 is greater than m2, so that finally I have written m1 minus m2. If at all, if m2 is greater than m1, you can write it as m2 minus m1. Remember, if both the magnets are arranged like this, with their magnetic moments opposite in direction, then the resultant magnetic moment will be equal to difference between the magnetic moments of individual magnets. If both the magnetic moments are along the same direction, the resultant magnetic moment will be simply sum of the individual magnetic moments. Okay, so now I'm going to change the orientation a little bit more. Now here also you can have something like this kind of arrangement you can imagine. How? Let us say this is one magnet, this is another magnet. Corresponding to this one, magnetic dipole moment is along this direction. Corresponding to this one, magnetic moment is along this direction. M1 and M2 both are opposite in direction. So these two situations are similar. In these two situations, magnetic moment value will be equal to M1 minus M2 only. Like in these two situations, magnetic moment is equal to what? M1 plus M2. Okay. So let me consider one more possible orientation. What I'm going to do is, I will arrange magnets like this. South, north. South, north. Okay. So here magnetic moment of this one will be along this direction. I will take it as M1, and magnetic moment of this one is from south to north in the downward direction, M2. Now what is the angle between these two? It's 90 degree. It's obvious from the figure, isn't it? If this is the situation, the resultant magnetic moment can be expressed as under root m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos 90 degree. Cos 90 is 0, so this term vanishes. So you will have under root m1 square plus m2 square. That's how resultant magnetic moment can be written. This is not like, all the time for this kind of orientation only this resultant magnetic moment is possible. That's not right. You can have the same magnetic moment, similar kind of expression for a different other arrangement of magnets also, something like this. See, I will arrange this magnet here. Okay. And I will arrange this magnet here. This one is kept here, this one is kept here. Now what is the angle between these two? Again, angle between M1 and M2 is equal to what term? 90 degree. Or you can also have something like this. South, north. This is M2. This is M1. M2. M1. M2. Like this also you can have. Here also what is the angle between M1 and M2? It's 90 degree. Here also it is equal to 90 degree. If that is the case, the resultant magnetic moment in these two arrangements is also equal to what? Under root M1 square plus M2 square only. Okay. So let us proceed with a few other orientations. I'm going to consider identical magnets. I'll take identical magnets. And I'll arrange identical magnets. Identical magnets in the sense the pole strengths are same, magnetic lengths are same. If both are same, magnetic moments will be same. So M1 and M2 both are equal. Let us consider identical magnets. There is no any specific reason for choosing identical magnets. You can choose different kinds of magnets also. But when you choose identical magnets, our work becomes a little simpler. Okay. Identical magnets. I'll consider 4 magnets and I will arrange all those 4 magnets in the shape of a square, something like this. Okay, I will arrange this such that unlike poles will be in touch with each other. Unlike poles will be in touch with each other. If it is south here, this will be north. South, north, south, north, south, north. Okay, all are identical, so its magnetic dipole moment will be along this direction. Let us say it is M. It is M. It is M. This is M. Okay, this is the arrangement. Now, if you are supposed to find out resultant magnetic moment, okay, no need to make use of that equation also. Just by looking at this picture, you can identify what is the resultant magnetic moment. Let me tell you how it can be done. Observe these two magnets. Magnetic moment of this magnet is in the upward direction and magnetic moment of this one is in the downward direction. So these two are opposite in direction. If both are opposite in direction, resultant magnetic moment will be equal to difference between those two. Since both are identical, M minus M will be equal to 0. So the contribution of magnetic moment, contribution of these two magnets to the magnetic moment is how much? It's 0. Similarly, what about contribution of these two magnets? Magnetic moment of this one is along this direction. Magnetic moment of this one is in the opposite direction. So resultant magnetic moment due to these two magnets is also 0. So overall, the resultant magnetic moment will be 0. Okay, so here M net equal to 0. M net equal to 0. Not only this kind of arrangement, you can have 3 magnets, 3 identical magnets arranged something like this. All are identical, with unlike poles touching each other. Its magnetic moment is along this direction, M. Its magnetic moment is along this direction, and its magnetic moment is along this direction. So what kind of triangle it will form? It will form an equilateral triangle because all are identical, no? So here the angle is 60 degree. Okay. What we can do is, if you wanted to make use of under root M1 square plus M2 square plus 2M1 M2 cos theta equation to find out the resultant magnetic moment, you can find out resultant of these two magnetic moments, and then that resultant, you have to find out angle between resultant of these two magnets, magnetic moment, and magnetic moment of this magnet. Then you will be able to find out the resultant magnetic moment of this arrangement. But that's a hectic process. Just by looking at the figure, you can identify. See here also, you know, in triangle of vector addition in first year, you might have come across. If all forces which are equal in magnitude are arranged in the same order along a triangle, then the resultant will be equal to 0. Sum of all those forces will be equal to 0. F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar will be equal to 0. So that's what the statement was. So here also the resultant of all these magnetic moments will be equal to what? 0. Here also see, in the same order all these magnetic moments are arranged like this. Like this. Here also in the same order. Okay, so here also net value will be equal to how much? M net is equal to 0. Not only this one, in case of any polygon, if magnets, identical magnets are arranged such that unlike poles touches each other at the corners, at the vertices, then the resultant magnetic moment of such a kind of arrangement is equal to 0. What if the diagram is something like this? Now I am going to modify this one slightly. Let us say this is equal to 2m. Okay, this is equal to 2m. This is equal to 3m. This is equal to 3m. Now resultant magnetic moment is not equal to 0 because all are not identical. All the magnets do not possess the same magnetic moment. This magnet possesses a magnetic moment equal to 2m, and magnetic moment of this one is m, this one is m, and this one is 3m. Now all are not same. So the resultant cannot be 0. Now resultant will be different. So let us try to find out what that resultant is. To find out the resultant, I will redraw the picture here. Whatever 2m is there, in that 2m, 1m gets cancelled because of this m, because this m is in the downward direction, right? Okay, so I will write a diagram separately. I will draw a diagram separately. Corresponding to this 2m, 2 arrow marks were drawn, m and m. Corresponding to this one, 3 arrow marks, m, m, m. Corresponding to this one, only 1 arrow mark, m. Corresponding to this one, m. So what is the net value of this m and this m? Both are opposite in direction, so the resultant of these two magnetic moments will be 0. So this m and this m gets cancelled, and resultant of this magnetic moment and this magnetic moment is also 0. Now what are we left with? We are left with 1m here, 2m's here, or I will write it as 2m directly. Okay. Now what is the angle between these two? Whatever remaining magnetic moments are present in this arrangement, between those two moments, the angle is 90 degree. If this is the case, m net can be written as under root, if angle theta is 90 degree, resultant magnetic moment is expressed as under root m1 square plus m2 square, isn't it? So write it here, m1 is m, m2 is 2m, so 2m square is 4m square. Okay, under root m square plus 4m square, under root 5m square. So finally you will have under root 5 into m. That is the net magnetic moment. Net magnetic moment. Similarly, in this case also, for example, this is equal to 3m. This is equal to 3m. Then what happens? And I'll take here 2m. I'll take here 3m. Okay. So similar kind of picture I will draw there. 3m, 3 arrow marks, m, 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 and here 1m, and here m, m, because 2m magnetic moment is there for this magnet. So here one set of all m's gets cancelled, the resultant will be equal to 0, one set of m's. So you can get rid of this m and this m, this m. Now what is the resultant picture? Here 2 m's are left, 2m, and here 1 m is left. This m and this m, this m. The resultant of all those m's is equal to what? Net value equal to 0. So now let us find out resultant of these two. If you wanted to find out the resultant, you have to find out the angle between the two moments, two magnetic moments. How to find out the angle between these two magnetic moments? See, this one is along this direction, right? Okay, and here what is the angle? It's an equilateral triangle, 60 degree. Okay, so then what will be this angle? 180 minus 60, it's 120. So angle between 2m and m is how much? 120 degree. Angle between two vectors, in the sense what you have to take? You have to take angle between their directions. The two, one is along this direction, the other one is along this direction. The smaller one you have to take. Okay. So 120 degree is the angle between this 2m and this m. So theta has been identified as 120 degree. Therefore, m net is equal to under root m square plus m square plus m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos theta. So m1 m2 both are same here. Okay, here it is 2m. Okay, you have to replace with 2m square. 2m square is what? 4m square plus 2 into m1 is m, m2 is 2m. So 2m into 2m, again what will have? 4m square cos 120. Okay, cos 120 is how much? Cos 90 plus 30. Cos 90 plus 30 is equal to minus sin 30. Minus sin 30 is minus 1 by 2. So replace this cos 120 with minus 1 by 2. What you will have? You will have under root m square plus 4m square, 5m square. This is cos 120 is equal to what? Minus 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2. 2 2 0. So finally you are left with 2m square. Under root 5m square minus 2m square. Under root 3m square. You will have under root 3 into m. So this is the net value of magnetic moment. Okay, so whatever kind of things we have dealt with here, this helps us to understand how to find the resultant magnetic moment when the combination of magnets is taken. Okay, in the same arrangement, you can have different magnets. These are like different magnets. We have taken different magnets. See here, if you take identical magnets along the sides of a polygon, the resultant will be 0. If you have taken magnets with different magnetic moments, there will be some net value. That net value can be identified something like this easily. You can identify. Okay, so let us discuss about one more model, one more possible model, one more special case connected with this one. Okay, now let us deal with this situation. When half of the length of a thin bar magnet of magnetic moment m is bent into a semicircle as shown in the figure. So here one thin bar magnet is taken, and this half of the thin magnet is bent in the form of a semicircle. So it was bent like this. Okay. So this part is remaining as it is. The other half, this half is as it is. The other half is bent into a semicircle shape. So if this is the arrangement, what is the magnetic moment? What is the magnetic moment? What is the magnetic moment of this one before bending? Its magnetic moment is m. Now what about this arrangement's magnetic moment? Don't think that since we did not change the magnet, we have changed the magnitude. Though you have taken the same magnet and you did some deformation in its structure, that doesn't mean you will have same magnetic moment. Here length of the magnet will be different in this case. So magnetic moment will change. So let us try to find out what is the magnetic moment of this one. Okay. So here I will consider this as combination of two parts. One is a semicircle shaped magnet, the other one is bar magnet. If this total magnet's magnetic moment is m, this part of the magnet will have a magnetic moment equal to m by 2, because this part is half of the total magnet. Since it is half of the total magnet, the magnetic moment of this part, this half part, will be equal to m by 2. This half part will be equal to m by 2. And the other half part's magnetic moment is m by 2. This is m by 2, this half part's magnet is having magnetic moment equal to m by 2, and this other half of the magnet is having magnetic moment equal to m by 2. Okay. So this m by 2, it is remaining as it is, but this m by 2 is going to change now, because this part is bent into a semicircle, isn't it? So before it was bent like this, what is the magnetic moment of this part? This part's magnetic moment is m by 2. This part's magnetic moment is m by 2. For a arc-shaped magnet, we have already seen the magnetic moment expression. It was derived in the previous session. The resultant magnetic moment m dash is equal to it is equal to 2 into what magnetic moment before it is bent by pi. So 2 into magnetic moment before it is bent by pi. So what you will have? You will have 2. Before it was bent, what is the magnetic moment? M by 2 by pi. 2 gets cancelled. So magnetic moment is m by pi. So this arc shaped, this semicircle shaped part of the magnet is having magnetic moment equal to m by pi. Or you can, if at all, if you don't able to recollect this equation, okay, you can use other ways of handling this one. Okay, I'll tell you that as well. See, let us say total length is 2L. If total length is 2L, here length will be L, here length will be L. Okay, so this m by 2 is equal to pole strength m into what is the length of this part? L. So m into L is m by 2. Okay, now here when this part of the magnet is converted into a semicircle shaped magnet, will there be any change in the pole strength? There won't be any change in the pole strength. So let me write expression for the magnetic moment of this new magnet, semicircle shaped magnet, is equal to pole strength multiplied with the separation between these two parts. Separation between these two parts is equal to what? It's equal to diameter. If radius is r, it is equal to diameter, right? So let the radius of this semicircular portion is r. Therefore, distance of separation between this south pole and this north pole is how much? 2r. And we don't know what that r is. Okay, you can find that r as well. Here the circumference is equal to L. What is the circumference of a semicircle? Circumference of a semicircle is pi r, which is equal to L. Therefore, r is equal to L by pi. Now let us replace here. Then m dash, it comes out to be as m into 2 into what is r? L by pi. M into L. M into L. What is that? M into L is nothing but m by 2. So 2 into m by 2 by pi. 2 gets cancelled. You will have m by pi. So what is this m by pi? This is the magnetic moment of this semicircle shaped part of the magnet. What about magnetic moment of this one? This is already known to us, m by 2. Okay. So what is the resultant magnetic moment? See, magnetic moment of this semicircular shaped one is along this direction. Magnetic moment of this one is also along the same direction. Both are along the same direction. So simply you can add those two things to find out the resultant magnetic moment. Therefore, m net is equal to m by pi plus what is the magnetic moment of this part of the magnet? M by 2. So you can take out m common, you will have m into 1 by pi plus 1 by 2. So this is the net value of magnetic moment. Okay. So remember students, this is how you are supposed to handle. Though there are a series of equations, series of formulae available, okay, it's always better to follow this kind of methods, okay, or if you know how to handle those things, because whatever formula we have got for magnetic moment, if it's in the arc shape, if it is in the shape of a semicircle, it is written as m dash is equal to 2m by pi. This was the equation. We have already derived that in the previous session. But what this m is? This m and this m both are not same. This m is magnetic moment of this magnet before it was bent. Before it was bent, what is the magnetic moment? M by 2. So in place of m, you have to write m by 2. Okay. If you can manage with such kind of things, if you can understand such kind of things, you can directly make use of formulae. Otherwise, you can directly derive. You know how to write magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is equal to pole strength multiplied with the distance of separation, isn't it? So all that you need to do is you have to find out this distance of separation. Distance of separation in this case is 2r diameter, and r is unknown. So r can be calculated like this. This length is L. So the circumference pi r is nothing but L. Okay, equal to L, you will get R value. If you substitute here, you will get M dash. M dash is equal to M into 2 into L by pi. And M into L is nothing but M by 2. Okay. See, magnet's length or electric dipole's length will be taken as 2L or 2R. It is just for convenience. Just for convenience, because all the time when we make measurements from the center of the dipole, when we take measurements from the center of the dipole, if it is like 2R or 2L, half of the length of the dipole will be equal to L. So that is something very convenient for us to handle the motor derivations and all. Okay, so that's how you are supposed to handle. And I'll choose one more possibility here, similar kind of possibility. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the orientation of this semicircular part. Okay, it is here like this. Now I'll change the orientation. If the orientation is changed, what happens? Let us see. Remember this magnetic moment of this semicircular portion is equal to what? M by pi. Let us remember that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the orientation like this. I will keep this part as it is. And I'll change the orientation like this. Okay, so south pole, north, south, north, and here this magnetic moment is equal to what? M by 2, and here the magnetic moment will be in the downward direction. Earlier both are along the same direction. Now magnetic moment of this one is in the downward direction, and what is that? Magnetic moment of this one is equal to M by pi. Now these two are perpendicular to each other. These two are perpendicular to each other. Earlier they were parallel. So in this case, M net will be equal to under root, since they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, M net will be equal to what? Under root M1 square plus M2 square. M1 I will take it as M by pi. So M square by pi square plus M by 2 square. M square by 4. Or you can write like this. M of under root 1 by pi square plus 1 by 4. That's how you can handle what a net magnetic moment. So this is how combination of magnets can be handled. All that you need to do is, whenever a set of magnets were given in different orientations, you just try to find out the angle between two magnetic moments. Once the angle is known to us, you can find out net magnetic moment using this equation under root m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos theta. Okay. Thank you, students. With this, I will conclude the session. Okay. Thank you.